has become a waking nightmare. I did not choose the thing I've become, but I can choose the lives I now take. Cursed be the choice.
They say everything you know is bound to change.
Pourquoi c'est pas fini? Ah si.
J'ai jamais
Ouais.
réussi à faire ça sérieusement. Un jour, c'est mon rêve, je te jure, d'être à côté de quelqu'un, de lui faire.
C'est ton rêve.
Et de reposer la tasse, l'air de rien, comme ça.
C'est tellement facile en vrai.
Mais j'y arrive pas, moi, ça me fait trop rire. Rien que de regarder, ça me fait rire.
Je m'en fous, je le laisse dans le montage.
Mais non.
Bonjour à tous. Donc on se retrouve pour cette 4e partie de Vampyr.
Pardon, bonjour.
Je suis toujours avec Melectrik.
Malheureusement. Alors aujourd'hui, on cause.
Oui, aujourd'hui on cause à toutes les personnes qu'on n'a pas causé.
Ça en fait du monde.
T'as là un mécène de l'hôpital, donc on va aller parler.
Mais on peut parler à d'autres gens aussi. Il y avait la mère du patient et tout.
Attendez.
Oui.
Je vérifie un truc.
Oui.
C'est bien ce que je pensais. Pour le coup, attention, je vais bouger un peu les caméras parce que vous ne voyez pas normalement notre barre de vie. Donc voilà, je vais nous mettre là et on vous lira s'il y a quelque chose par là. D'accord?
Pardon. Oui.
J'espère que ça prendra en compte le changement. Ça a l'air. Donc, hop là. Bah c'est parti. Désolé, je suis contre l'HP. Alors, on y va. Puisque vous n'avez jamais vu la barre de vie, on vous explique. Le vert, c'est ma vie. Le jaune, c'est mon endurance. Donc, dès que je frappe, je perds de l'endurance. Dès que j'esquive, je perds de l'endurance. Hein?
Tu vois du jaune, toi?
Je vois du jaune marron violet. Non, pas le violet. Ouais, du orange, ouais. Je suis fatigué. Et puis le rouge bordeaux, c'est...
la barre de sang.
La barre de sang.
Donc pour les capacités spéciales, et donc le 8, c'est notre niveau.
Quand on n'en a pas, on fait 100. Voilà, c'était tout pour moi. Ça sera la meilleure vanne de ce let's play.
Ah putain.
Mais en fait, j'ai trop l'impression d'être un médecin, tu sais, qui pique des médicaments.
Dr House.
C'est ça.
Qui cherche sa vicodine. Du coup,
on a dit qu'on irait voir les inconnus.
Mais ça en fait un paquet, hein.
Pas Pascal Légitimus, mais... Désolé, j'ai dit que je...
Bonsoir à tous, c'est Melectrik pour un nouveau let's play.
Désolé. Bon, voyons voir elle.
Vas-y.
Ce qui serait vraiment cool par rapport à ce qu'ils ont dit, ça serait de voir vraiment une couleur différente s'ils sont malades.
Oui, c'est le cas.
Ah non, c'est pas le cas.
Si, tu vois dans leur bilan de
Ah non,
santé.
mais
après,
vraiment là, tu vois.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed,
Je suis le
the new
Dr.
surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And
Y'a
who
pas
are
un
you?
Dr House
Your
qui
name has
s'appelle
no
Dr House,
meaning
qui
to
s'appelle
me,
comme ça?
mortal.
T'as vu?
You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
Elle a l'air gentille, elle.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Ah, moi aussi. Ah merde, fallait pas que je le dise.
Des conneries. C'est typiquement le genre de nana qui essaie de se rendre intéressante.
C'est ça. Qui êtes-vous réellement?
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Ok. Votre vie à Londres? Vous êtes un vampire?
And why
C'est
do you
intéressant,
believe you're
dites-moi.
a vampire?
J'en ai jamais
I
vu.
don't need to believe anything.
Je
It
ne
is
l'ai
what I
jamais
am.
vu.
Je l'ai jamais
It
vu.
is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Décrivez-moi cette sensation. Vous avez entendu parler du syndrome de Cotard?
Le syndrome du connard, bah oui.
De Cotard.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Décrivez-moi cette sensation alors.
Please, describe
Qu'est-ce
to
que
me
ça
how
fait
you
d'être un
feel.
vampire? Je ne sais pas du tout.
What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Ok. Êtes-vous une patiente de l'hôpital ou
I'm
juste une
assuming
droguée?
you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
The staff here are not your
Allez, on va
enemy.
prendre soin de vous.
They're here to help.
Oui, oui.
Take
Vous allez mettre
care.
cette chemise.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Juste un petit instant. Je vais faire un autre truc.
En même temps, plus personne n'utilise Skype. C'est... Voilà.
Enfin, plus ou moins, mais... Et... Vos ennemis.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Ah, mais non, mais eux, c'est les
Non, ils sont
cons.
morts. Ils sont morts.
À propos du chantage au sein de
Have you
l'hôpital.
heard of any blackmailing going on within these walls?
I have no time for mortal games. My secrets are beyond their comprehension, Dr. Reed.
Ok.
Bon,
Bah écoutez, c'était un
Au
plaisir
revoir,
de vous
madame.
parler.
I leave you, mistress of the dark.
comment il se fout de sa
to your
gueule.
nocturnal activities.
Has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Tu peux piquer des trucs. Hein.
Ouais. Bonjour. Voilà. C'est pour moi. Attends, on va parler un peu à lui.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Ok.
Oui, il me semblait bien qu'on avait déjà entendu parler de ce mec-là.
Ouais.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Je vais pas t'offenser, mais je vais parler un peu plus
How
fort.
close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken
Oui, on
inside,
a cru
is
Ah
all,
bah oui, oui, oui.
while I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Vous la laissez vous mordre, elle souffre d'un trou de mordre.
So do you let her bite you? You know
Pas
that's
très
not
hygiénique quand
sanitary.
même.
And why not?
Elle a peut-être
She's
le sida
only
de la
supping
bouche.
a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
Elle s'ouvre, la trouble
You
mentale.
do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars.
Oui. Donc, du coup, il s'en fout.
And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Ou toi, tu vas bientôt mourir.
Il n'y a pas tellement d'experts. Hein.
Ouais.
Il y en a un qui vaut 3000 €.
Des rumeurs d'affaires louches?
Have you heard rumors of underhand dealings in the hospital?
If you want to know what's going on here, you better talk to Miss Jones. She knows everything. Especially what she shouldn't.
Ok.
Comment ça va?
Quelle est la véritable raison de votre blessure?
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Si c'est vraiment-
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I
Sympa,
was.
Rouen.
Ouais.
The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
La chirurgie pourrait vous aider, la beauté physique ne fait pas tout. Vous pouvez pas vous cacher éternellement.
You know you can't hide forever. One day you'll have to face your loved ones. Until that day, you have no chance of real recovery.
My friends all died in the trenches. It's shameful enough to be alive with these stupid scars. I don't want my children to see me like this.
Ok,
Donc il a des enfants.
apparemment. On a tout!
Ouais, j'aimerais bien juste... Est-ce que tu peux faire LT? Ah voilà, parce que donc là ça doit être ton niveau de charme et le niveau de charme de la personne en face, donc c'est pour ça que ça a marché. C'est pour ça que ça a marché.
Ouais.
Je voulais savoir comment tu voyais le niveau de charme des... Enfin le niveau de
Est-ce qu'on
charisme.
le tue?
Est-ce que ça vaut vraiment le coup?
Je sais pas.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Je fais quelque chose.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Qui s'occupe de vous?
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me.
Ah, celui qu'on a vu en premier.
Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Bien. Tu dois avoir une nouvelle question?
Parlez-moi de votre famille, ouais, effectivement.
You told me before you don't want your children to see you like this. Do you have any other family?
My sister Agatha has raised me nippers since their mother died.
Super.
Don't want them to look at me like
Leur
this.
mère est morte et il a peur d'y retourner.
How could children despise their father injured in the war?
What do you think? They saw me. Once. My poor angels left the room crying. They keep on having nightmares every week, my sister told me.
Votre sœur doit sûrement vous respecter.
Your sister's not a child. I'm sure she has nothing but respect for a wounded soldier, and you are her brother.
You don't know my sister Agatha. She may be young, but she's all discipline and morality. If she ever found out what really happened...
She doesn't have to know.
She's a sly one, my sister. One day she'll find out the truth and knock 7 bells out of me. Nah. I'm better off here.
Ok. Je suis désolé, mais j'ai vraiment un doute par rapport à l'enregistrement. Je vérifie. Non, ça a l'air d'être ok. Ok.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
D'accord.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
They have disgust on every street corner.
Lui, il vaut 6, 3000. Ouais, je peux pas. Il vaut 6 en charme.
Va augmenter ton charme.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Que faites-vous dans la vie?
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Êtes-vous un prêtre?
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach
Ah
the
d'accord, il est
good
pas prêtre
word.
du tout.
Pourquoi n'avez-vous pas utilisé votre croix contre William?
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
D'accord, ok.
C'est vrai que l'autre t'a repoussé avec un crucifix.
Ouais. Vous avez-vous fait des amis depuis votre arrivée ici?
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke. Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Ok.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Votre vie à Londres?
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Pourquoi vous êtes chicané Pius?
You dared to enter this awful place alone.
Franchement, c'était un vrai
You're a
charnier.
hero,
Moi, j'aurais
Mr.
aperçu le premier cadavre, je serais parti en courant.
Ouais.
Le mec est rentré, il fait
Trying to help
William?
his friends, Dr. Reed.
William!
Un petit
William
café?
Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Oh, mais elle,
Non,
elle
non,
est
mais
pétée.
elle fume, elle.
Ouais.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The
comprends
authorities
pas.
have left us all to
Ils
rot
sont
in this
désespérés.
contagious nightmare.
Oui, bon, c'est la guerre. Oui, la
No
grève
drugs,
espagnole, oui,
no
d'accord. Mais,
advice,
la vie est
nothing.
belle, non?
Bon, ça
It's
va.
a damn shame.
Il pourrait y avoir pire, genre des vampires.
What is the general
Exactement.
situation in the East End, Docs?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Qui est désormais la tête du gang?
Le
Who
connard qui est
leads
dehors.
the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Ok.
Donc le gars qui est dehors, il faisait partie de...
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
Il dirigeait...
We'll
même.
talk again
C'est lui
later.
qui est comme ça.
Hein?
Qui est dehors, là. Celui
Ouais,
qui
c'est
met
le
con,
premier
là.
qu'on a failli tuer.
Hmm.
Et en fait, qu'on a pas fait, mais en fait, j'ai un connard.
Ouais, mais on va quand même le... On va le up, on va l'XP à fond et puis on va le bouffer.
Elle, on lui a parlé ou pas?
Oui, oui.
Oui, c'est la folle. C'est la folle.
Ah, Pipa. C'est la copine de l'ambulancier, ça. Oh bah, te penche pas comme ça, Pipa.
It's locked, all right.
Il y en a qui ont eu des enfants pour moins que ça. Hein.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais, Pipa?
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Votre vie à Londres. Comment je charge le punch?
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
D'accord.
Why does Milton
Tu te
dislike
calmes, Pipa.
doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Mais tu vas te calmer,
Mais
ouais.
ouais. Je vous conseille de
I
changer
don't like
de...
your attitude, Nurse Hawkins. Pessimism can be as lethal as the epidemic in times like these.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
T'arrêtes de cracher sur tout le monde.
Putain.
How would you describe the situation
Toi?
at Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious.
Voilà.
Hein?
The flu is
Ouais,
wreaking
ouais.
havoc amongst the staff and patients.
Ouais, mais après l'ambulancier
You're
va être
running
triste
out
et
of
tout, ça
everything.
va être chiant.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Tout à l'heure, vous me parliez de Milton.
Pepper, I know you're very close to
Mais
Milton
elle est
Hooks.
pas...
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free,
Ouais,
Doctor.
elle
I
a
have no
plus de charme que
intention
toi,
of
je crois.
reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke, but we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Fais voir le niveau de charme.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
But you're doing something important here. For all the patients who need your help.
We save lives, sure. Each time we send a cured patient home, it's a relief beyond words. But since the epidemic, I feel so powerless.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
Elle est à 3, et je suis à 1.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Bon.
Hein?
J'ai dit bon. Pas mal chaté là.
It's locked.
Qui c'est qu'on n'a pas vu? Tu dois avoir un tableau avec les différents... les différents personnages du quartier, quelque part. Peut-être qu'il n'y a que ceux que tu as rencontrés dessus.
Non.
Recensement des citoyens. Ah oui, il nous en manque 5, 6, 7. Non, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pardon. L'autre, il faudrait le soigner, là.
C'est lui, là?
L'autre couillon, là. Non, l'autre connard.
Ah, l'autre connard.
Si t'as de quoi faire un remède contre la fatigue. On peut aller
Thelma
parler.
Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Faisons affaire.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Ah. Ça, c'est les trucs pour la fatigue.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Moi, on sait que lui, il en a.
Ouais. Des rumeurs de chantage?
Have you heard of someone blackmailing people in the hospital?
Pardon me, sir, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
D'accord.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main
Parce qu'elle est bourrée de
It was
vampires.
for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker
C'est
down
moi
by
le
the
fossoyeur,
docks.
sale menteur.
A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must
Oui, je l'ai
be very
tué,
relieved.
mais super.
Ça va. Vous êtes prêteur sur gage.
A pawnbroker.
Vous êtes pas vendeur de
I
roses,
expect
lol.
to get all the
Oh non.
Aïe 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 aïe.
Ce soir, c'est vraiment pas le bon soir.
I sell all kind of goods.
Pourquoi?
Je sais pas, on fait des vannes un peu pourries. Mais qui vient acheter des choses ici? Je veux dire, vos clients sont morts.
here to trade with.
C'est pas très
It's
hygiénique.
very unhygienic.
T'as un problème avec l'hygiène,
even
toi, hein.
Unsafe. Diseases can spread.
Le mec c'est monk.
For the
C'est
customer,
ça.
for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Tu dois pas connaître beaucoup de gens. Hein.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Vous croyez en la vie après la
Vous
mort?
là,
Since
vous
you're
dans
not
votre
afraid
espèce
of
là,
dying,
vous croyez à la,
Do you believe in
réincarnation, tout
life
ça, non?
after death?
Le mec vachement condescendant, tu
We
sais.
must do all the good we can.
Vous
while
autres là,
alive.
Richnou, Shiba.
The obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Quoi, la compassion n'est pas éternelle?
Do you really believe
Huh?
goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Vous êtes donc prêts à mourir?
So you're
Allez,
ready to
suivez-moi.
die.
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed, I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Bien. Est-ce qu'on en a du remède à la fatigue sur lui?
Il est à 3000 et c'est 4. Putain.
Est-ce qu'on a du remède? Est-ce qu'on a de quoi faire des
Goodbye,
remèdes contre
Mr.
la
Chidana.
fatigue?
Je sais pas, en fait, il faudrait retourner là-haut.
Mais tu dois dans ton inventaire au moins la recette et les ingrédients.
Dans mon inventaire, tu veux dire?
Oui. Tu dois avoir la recette décrite quelque part, non? Donc là, il y a tes ingrédients juste
Traitement
avant.
pour la fatigue. Je ne peux pas.
0. Échantillon et ingrédients. Donc ça va. Hein. Et tu n'as pas la recette quelque part?
Non, je crois pas. Non, il faut que j'aille...
C'est con ça.
Ouais, c'est cool.
Dans un jeu comme Witcher par exemple, en fait la première fois en fait tu dois mélanger tous les ingrédients et puis après t'as juste à... Une fois que t'as la recette,
Je sais plus c'est quoi le 8 que j'ai au-dessus de mon truc.
c'est ton niveau.
C'est mon niveau. D'accord.
Au niveau général. Au niveau du combat.
C'est où?
Au niveau du chou rouge.
Quoi?
Ça bloque.
Traitement pour la fatigue, il me faut...
Non c'est bon, ça
J'ai tout.
Bah vas-y Coco.
Et Coco, tu me respectes. Et là, j'ai tout aussi. Ça
Oui
rentre
mais
dans le
si
jeu.
tu fais ça tu vas... Là tu vas pouvoir sauver l'autre connard là. Pour mieux le bouffer après. Et là t'as hypochlorite de sodium
Ouais,
qui te manque.
c'est surtout l'hypochlorite de sodium. Et je me suis fait un sérum. Au cas où.
Et ben demande à Rami Malek là s'il a un...
S'il y a de l'hypochlorite de
Complètement oublié
sodium.
son nom. Désolé, pardon à Rami Malek, je sais qu'il regarde certainement tes lives. Tes let's play clos.
Marrakech.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Peut-être qu'il en a, lui.
Please show me what you have to
Peut-être
sell.
que Milton, il
Of
en a
course.
aussi, parce qu'il vend des trucs.
It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Alors, est-ce que tu as l'hypochlorite de sélénium?
Bah oui.
C'est 15... 15
15 shillings.
15 shillings pour faire mon travail?
Ah, j'avoue, c'est chaud.
On achète qu'un.
Après, je suis sûr que l'hôpital, il y en a partout. Hein. L'hôpital, je suis sûr qu'il y en a
Ouais, je
plein.
pense. Nouveau perso.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival,
Oh, no.
but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune.
Il m'a juste piqué ses lunettes.
Such an honor, sir.
Ça s'appelle Strickland.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland. Dr.
Strickland.
Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great
Non, c'est quoi son
admirer
prénom,
of
j'ai
your
pas vu.
work, Dr. Reed.
Taureau.
Des rumeurs de chantage?
Have you
Thoreau
heard any
Strickland.
talk of blackmail going on in the hospital?
If you're running some official inquiry, you had better question the patients. They know more than the staff, especially old Miss Jones.
C'est le deuxième à nous renvoyer vers Miss
Ouais.
Jones.
Please, could you tell me something
Old
about
Miss
yourself?
I'm
Jones.
a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed.
Ils sont tous
I
fans
run my
de
own
nous, en fait.
experiments. I'm convinced it's the
On est le
future.
genre de superstar des chirurgiens. On est le Johnny de la chirurgie, en fait, je crois.
Qu'est-ce qui vous a poussé à travailler dans ce domaine?
What made you choose to
Ma
be a
sœur.
doctor?
Elle m'a
I'm
tellement
not
poussé
ashamed
fort.
to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure.
La
to share
flatterie ne vous
scientific
mènera
and
nulle
medical
part,
knowledge
t'aurais
with
pu lui
someone
répondre.
eager to learn. I'll be glad
Arrêtez de
to
me
help
sucer
you
la
if
bite,
I
monsieur,
can.
s'il vous plaît, c'est gênant.
Eh, ta langue, elle a rien à
Maybe
foutre dans mon
the
cul.
century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
T'as un boulard,
I
mec.
based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and
Non,
unsuccessful.
ils font du
As long
bordel.
as
Il y
you're
a quelqu'un qui fait des
cautious
travaux
and
dans l'hôpital.
you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced that knowledge is the this epidemic.
L'océan du cache.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Oui, tu sembles beaucoup trop
Do you need
optimiste pour
help
être
with
honnête. mec.
anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the
Il y a tellement d'arc en fond.
But if you went to his shop, what with your reputation and all,
Qu'est-ce
he
qui se
wouldn't
passe
dare
dans
to
cet
refuse the
hosto?
products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. You're not
Putain,
smiling.
lui, il est calme derrière.
En fait, si tu regardes, il est allongé, mais il a les yeux grands ouverts. Il est là, putain, il va pas fermer sa gueule,
Mais
Maurice.
ta gueule, dis-lui que tu
Maurice,
l'aimes.
ta gueule.
À propos de votre technique de transfusion sanguine,
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Doctor.
il y a tellement d'arc.
Especially since I know
Je suis désolé.
Mr.
En fait, il y a
Fiddick's
un mec qui est pas dans le bon hôpital. C'est lui, il vient de la psychiatrie, mais.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Aykroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Oui, c'est vrai.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Ouais.
Est-ce qu'on peut parler à cet homme?
L'autre là qui gueule pour rien.
Oh, bon petit meurt. C'est celui que t'as soigné hier.
Ouais.
Il y a encore des gens qui sont inconnus, hein.
Lui, on lui a pas parlé. Inconnu.
Non.
On lui a
C'est
parlé.
celui dont lui vient de te parler, par contre.
Lui, on lui a pas parlé.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your
Oui,
arrival.
c'est ça, oui.
I'm Waverly
J'ai rien à
Ackroyd.
foutre, mais...
Welcome aboard, I
Je
suppose.
t'aime pas
Does
beaucoup.
rien
my
à foutre.
arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Aykroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's
bien.
enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not
Il est
overrated
en train de se frapper la
dabblers.
tête contre le mur derrière.
Have you heard about any blackmail going on in this hospital?
Blackmail? Nonsense.
Au moins, il est direct.
Ouais, c'est bien.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's
Waverly.
enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Tu dirais quoi?
Bah, disons qu'on lui a pas encore parlé à l'autre, donc j'aimerais bien savoir ce qu'il a avant de répondre à ce genre de truc, quoi.
Ouais. Vous en assumerez les conséquences. Voilà.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Avez-vous un problème avec moi?
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Aykroyd, please
C'est
feel
ma gueule
free
qui
to
me revient
tell me.
pas.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with
C'est
it.
ça être
I
un
know
patron.
we've never met before.
J'ai pas entendu.
C'est ça
but I
être un
believe this
patron.
hospital
Il n'a pas
could
besoin de
use
demander
all
l'avis de
the
ses
help
employés.
it can get. You will agree with that.
Il y a encore
I'm sure.
Darik derrière.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Oh. Vous feriez bien de me parler sur un autre ton.
You are going to change your tone with me, my dear colleague, and very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by
C'est
Dr.
tellement ça.
Swansea, but I am still a free man, and I will speak to you the way I want.
Combien? 4? Toi, tu vas sur ma liste.
Since your tenure in
Mais
this
tu peux
hospital
pas
is
buter les
longer than
médecins.
mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this.
Si tu butes les médecins,
Let's just say I'm tired of
les
the
patients vont
jealousy
crever.
around me.
Oui?
I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm...
Ta gueule, Darik.
Maurice.
Carelessness. Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Ouais. En fait, il regarde un match de foot. J'ai déjà
En
prouvé
fait,
ma
c'est ma
valeur en
mère.
tant que médecin.
C'est ma mère
I
devant
don't
le
know
héros.
what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
I don't see any reason why I should justify my actions to you.
That's true, Dr. Reed. The only judge has to be yourself. The question is, are you judging yourself hard enough?
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something.
C'est clairement...
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey.
Pas dans
Why
la
do you
montée,
feel so
directement.
guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Ah, donc c'est ta faute s'il y avait la guerre, si les Allemands ont décidé de bombarder ce jour-là.
Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children
Bon,
after
super.
losing their mother?
Écoutez,
They were smaller then.
Ils sont en pleine boom, là.
c'est ça.
The only good thing about
Fait une
this
sortie
is
demain.
my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Have you heard talk of any blackmail here at the hospital?
No, nothing.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
My sweet girl.
Ok. On a parlé à beaucoup de monde.
Ouais, est-ce qu'on peut pas les soigner
Le con.
le connard de...
Ah, Clay.
Ouais. Qui avait besoin d'en remettre pour la fatigue.
Je cours.
Les animes sont assez raides quand même.
Hein?
Les animations sont raides. Je trouve. Enfin, encore du monde qu'on connaît pas. Hein.
Ouais, mais c'est l'inconnu. C'est... Je trouve Clay.
Il était par là. Hein. Ah, il est là.
Il est là.
Tu vois, regarde, il y a un tas de couleurs hein, quand t'arrives.
Il y en a un autre encore.
Ouais, il y en a un qui est sur les quais. Bon, donne-lui ça déjà.
Hey, Doc.
Toi, tu vas tellement crever.
Ouais. Est-ce que t'as entendu des rumeurs de chantage?
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in the hospital?
Blackmail? That's not my style. Too risky. The black market, though. Now that's where the money is.
Ok.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Tu donnes?
Ah oui, comme ça, tu le... Eh, tu
Consider yourself
le
lucky.
boostes à fond,
treating
et
all
après on
of my
bouffe.
patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't
Il
play
vaut
the
pas mal de
innocent
points, lui,
with
non?
me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And
Non.
also weaknesses that can be exploited.
C'est pas vrai, j'en ai les billes, j'étais au cinéma.
C'est ça. 700. Pour l'instant.
Ouais, il va
I'll leave
valoir dans
you
les,
for
il va
now,
valoir dans les
Mr.
1000,
Cox.
lui. C'est pas mal.
Il y en a un autre qui est en bas, il me semble.
Il est en bas, là, ouais.
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more
C'est Eagles
details.
qui l'a balancé
Oswald and
dans...
myself were both infantry, sir.
dans
We
l'eau.
were en route for the hospital, but we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking
Ouais, on
rats.
aime bien les rats.
Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend.
Musophobie.
Ouais.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. We've taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
2000.
Putain, la vache, ouais. Alors qu'il est
I
pas au
have
max.
all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
C'est des rats. Attention.
C'était peut-être pas par là, c'était peut-être de l'autre côté du... Ok. Vas-y.
Ok. On va voir si on a parlé. Oh, presque, hein. Il en manque un, et bah c'est celui qui cherche, je pense.
Non, parce qu'il reste un inconnu dans l'hôpital.
Il y a un inconnu dans l'hôpital?
Ouais. Je pense qu'il est dans un autre quartier, Oswald. Oui, il reste un mec qui est inconnu.
C'est sûr.
Ouais. C'est la fameuse
The flu
mécène.
took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Bonjour.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Celle qu'on a vue dans la...
You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
So it seems our Dr. Swansea does indeed have a fascination for creatures of our constitution.
Dr. Swansea is a remarkable man. Dedicated, one might say, obstinate? He spent years compiling our bestiary.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient, or their family.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Excuse my impertinence, Your Ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Ok.
Is our little mystery closer to being solved, Dr. Reed?
I think of nothing else, my lady.
My situation is delicate, and it occupies all my thoughts. The blackmail must stop. I need assurance.
Ok, on va pas parler plus. J'ai pas du tout le choix. Ok.
Bien.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Reste encore.
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr.
Voilà la
Reed,
commère.
the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
If you continue shouting, I'll have you restrained and gagged. Understood?
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts lit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Ouais, bah forcément c'est...
The patients and staff might know something.
J'allais dire c'est
I'll start my
Pipa et...
investigation with them.
Bon Donc les infirmières sont des salopes. Voilà ce qu'on a appris.
Ah bah superbe. Alors, qui est-ce qu'on va voir en premier?
Je ne sais pas. On y va maintenant?
Ouais. Non?
Oui, je sais pas. C'est pas le moment que je joue.
Ouais. Qu'est-ce que... Je me perds un peu avec cette map. Aïe.
I have wasted too much.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Question personnelle, est-ce qu'il y a un début de...
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Okay.
Bien.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
D'accord. J'en profite pour lui poser des questions.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
To clear Dr. Tippett's name must be the decision of Dr. Swansea. You can't take matters into your own hands.
I respect Dr. Swansea's authority and management, but he's no idea what happens here on a daily basis. I did what I had to do.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Ça fait vraiment un comportement de merde. Bon, allez, salut.
Puis si vous avez besoin d'aide, n'hésitez pas.
Tu vois.
Je cherche Dorothy. Appuyez sur L pour aiguiser vos sens. Si un citoyen se comporte de manière étrange, son cœur émettra une lueur caractéristique. Si vous examinez ce citoyen, vous développerez une interaction spéciale. Essayez de trouver Melectrik.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck them. I don't like hospitals. Or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Ce pantalon.
Ouais, j'étais en train de dire la même chose.
Sexy.
Ouais.
La classe à Dallas, mec.
Ça va, je me suis pas trop fait voir par...
Ah, elle a disparu.
Elle a disparu. Faut que je le retrouve dans les égouts.
Ah. Pote de l'autre.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Je me démerde un peu mieux.
Oui. Attends. Ça te défonce. Je ne sais pas. Ouais.
I have this thirst for blood.
C'est une bête mal.
Ouais. C'est juste.
This is despicable.
Bannissement du dragon. En ce qui concerne la confrérie des étoiles de Saint-Paul, je recommanderais à nos membres de se méfier de ces soi-disant intellectuels. Oui, en effet, la plupart d'entre eux sont toujours affables et respectueux lorsqu'ils nous approchent, mais il serait peu judicieux pour un cercle aussi discret que le club Ascalon de sottement parler de nos objectifs, de nos recrues ou de nos traditions. J'aimerais également rappeler à nos chers membres que la confrérie est elle-même suffisamment ancienne pour avoir quelques traditions mystérieuses. Selon quelques sources, l'une de ces traditions pourrait être le rituel du soi-disant bannissement du dragon. Il semblerait que, dans certaines circonstances, lorsque les frères de Saint-Paul découvrent un immortel violent ou assoiffé de sang, ils appellent à son bannissement. En quoi cela consiste-t-il exactement? Je l'ignore. Ce rituel existe-t-il vraiment? Je n'en suis pas certain non plus. Mais ce que j'ai établi en tant que fait, c'est qu'à chaque fois qu'un vampire hostile ou vindicatif a menacé le monde, il a disparu sans laisser de traces après que la confrérie a prononcé son bannissement. Notre loyal Fergal Bacha lui-même n'a jamais été assez idiot pour provoquer ouvertement la confrérie. C'est une leçon que nous ne devons pas oublier. Ne soyez au grand jamais considéré comme un dragon par la confrérie. Citoyen en danger. Prudence, un citoyen en danger. Un citoyen en danger pourrait ne pas survivre à la nuit prochaine. À lui porter secours. Je croyais qu'il était mort, l'autre.
Non.
Il est mort.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Vous avez sauvé un citoyen, il sera de retour dans son quartier à partir de la nuit prochaine.
Are you sure you're all right, sir?
Yes, I'll be. As soon as I can see the sky again.
Bon.
Et donc?
Mais c'est bon, tu t'as occupé de lui, ça.
Je trouve l'autre malfrade qui est par ici. Hop. Ouh, ça sent la reine.
Son boss. Mon Dieu.
What sort of creature is this? Je vais essayer de tourner.
rapport et il se régène.
Ouais. Ça, c'est chiant. Il se régène? J'ai pas remarqué.
Comme ça.
Est-ce que j'ai pas mieux pour le combattre? Chasseur, ok.
What sort of creature is this?
Je dis là, tu lui fais mal. Tu frappes pas spécialement fort, mais ça lui nique son endurance. À chaque fois, il t'enlève de la santé max, hein, putain. C'est ce qui maximum ses grosses charmes.
Oui, je suis en train de me remettre à la vie.
Oui, t'en perds autant.
Bon, de North Crane. Si vous êtes malade et que vous n'avez pas d'argent, qui que vous soyez, d'où vous venez, Dorothea est là pour vous aider, sans entourloupe, sans frais, sans question. Trouvez la maison de Darius rue et présentez ce bon. Ok, en fait, c'est son copain et c'était une sorte de loup-garou.
What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
J'avais compris que c'était lui, moi.
Moi, j'avais pas compris.
I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable.
Ah. J'avais pas compris. Ok, on va aller sauvegarder. Se rendre à Whitechapel. Ah bah il y en avait là. Ok. Hop. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on améliore cette fois-ci? Ça, je vais le faire, je pense. C'est bien utile. 1300. Et qu'est-ce que je peux améliorer? La capacité sanguine, maintenant que j'arrive à gérer ça, je pense que je peux faire ça. Est-ce qu'il y a un truc qui fait 300? Ça c'est 600. Initial. Ok. Hop. Événement majeur dans le quartier. Chaque nuit, les conséquences de vos actes peuvent améliorer ou dégénérer la situation. Ouais, on l'a déjà vu. Des événements majeurs dans le quartier. Ok, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Lui, il est plus malade, c'est ça?
On soigne un et du coup l'autre est revenu et il faudra le soigner.
Il y a un mal de tête. Il faudra un traitement pour le mal de tête. Ok. Eh bien écoutez, on va se donner rendez-vous pour un prochain épisode.
Tout à fait. Le faisant.
On fait des bisous et puis à la prochaine.
À la prochaine.